in this session, I'm going to walk you through how to create a job list or add to a job list as an employer. So it is believed that for you to be on this dashboard screen, you've completed the sign up or the authentication flow, and it has redirected you straight to this dashboard. So for me to create a job list, I navigate to the side nav bar and then to the jobs tab. So this is me clicking on the jobs tab. There is a plus icon on the top nav bar that gives you a list of options. So you should know that this list of options are not in a particular sequence. So it doesn't have to be that you have to create a candidate details first before you can add a job or add a schedule. Depending on your particular need at that time, you can go ahead to utilize this feature. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to add a job. So let's begin. Creating a job list is a six-step process that begins with you inputting the job information. So for me to input the job information, I'm going to begin with the job title. I already have a suggested job title here, which is a senior UI UX designer role. So I'm just going to use that and input senior UI UX designer role. I can go ahead to fill in the description about the job. I already have a description generated, the location at which you are hiring from, either Canada or Australia or Cambodia. Um, I'm clicking on Canada. I choose it. But if you are open to hiring remotely, or if you're open to the candidate working remotely, you can check this option. You can go ahead to fill in the job type, if it's a full-time role or a part-time role or a contract and internship position. This drop down gives you all of the option. You can go ahead to fill in the experience level you're looking out for in the candidate, and then the number of position or candidates you're looking out to hire. There is an arrow, a top and lower button arrow that helps you to increase or decrease the number of positions that you are open to. So I'm going to leave the positions open to 4 candidates. I can utilize this calendar icon to update the application deadline. That means to show the expiration of the application. So in this case, I'm going to pick November 30th and see it's updated. You can provide more information about the job that will give the candidates more insights. You can as well leave it empty, but here I've provided more information, and then we'll navigate to the skill. So it is expected that the employer has an expectation at which he wants the candidate to have for that position. So for a senior UI UX designer role, I'm expecting the candidate to have certain skills. It could be a soft skill, it could be a professional skill, depending on what your option is. So for this skill, I'm expecting that the candidate should have a web design skill. I'm also expecting that the candidate should have a graphic designer skill, design skill. And so I'm just going to leave it at 2 options. But once we complete this form, we're going to discover that an error message will be generated here, indicating that a minimum of 3 skills should be imputed or filled in this form. But I'm just going to walk us through filling the form with just 2 options so I can show us how to update it. So the next session is the remuneration session. So you can decide to toggle this button to turn it off or turn it on if you want the remuneration detail to be obvious to the candidate. In this case, I want the candidate to see the remuneration detail, so I can just turn it on. Then click on the currency at which the candidate is going to be paid, either in US dollars, Canadian dollars, euro, pound sterling. You have a ton of options of currency that you can pick from. You select the rate at which the candidate is also going to be paid, hourly, daily, monthly, whatever the case is. A minimum and a maximum salary range is also expected to be filled. And then you can check other benefits attached to this position. I can click on dental insurance or medical insurance. You can check as much as you want, and you can also add other benefits attached to this position. And I click on next. Once I hit next, it is not redirecting me to the next page. You can see that the error message has been generated. So you are expected to input at least 3 items for this skill. So the third item I'm going to be updating here is I'm expecting the candidate to have a UX writing skill. So I'm updating it to UX writing and see we're good to go. And we can click the next option. which takes us to the second step of creating a job list, which is the application step. So this application step comes in with two options: the standard lobby option application and then the custom application form. The standard lobby application form gives you, the employer, the benefit of getting the candidate information directly from their lobby account. That means once the candidate is applying for this position, there are several prerequisites or several information the candidate will be providing based on the questions lobby will be asking them. So this is the option you'll be picking if you want to go in that direction. But if you have more specific information or more specific requirements that you want the candidate to provide, you can check on this option of custom application form that generates a form for you that you can update with the information you need. You already have like a list of generated questions or requirements or information basically. Yeah, the first name, the last name, the headline. You can delete, you can edit, you can update, you can fill in, you can add more to the custom field where you have to fill in a name, mark as required. But I'm particularly okay with this detail, so I can just hit next. But for employers that I want to update this, this comes in handy by adding the custom field and just hit confirm and it is updated. You can save this form as a template and you give it a unique name, whereby with the unique name, you can always make reference to it when that position arises or if you have something similar to it. And because I'm okay with this, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to click on next, which takes me to the third step of creating a job list, the reference step. So this reference step is used to validate the credibility of the candidate. So I'm going to turn on this button to request for candidates to provide references for me. And so I'm going to also indicate the number of references the candidate is to provide, 2, 3, 4, no matter your number, you can update it here. And then you provide a list of information about the reference that you'd want to know. If you want the email address of the reference, the phone name of the reference, the title, the job title of the reference, you can also update it with wanting to know the relationship the candidate has with the reference, maybe colleague or partners, whatever the requirements may be. You can update it here and of course save it as a template. Once that has been done, Lobby would send a message to your reference. We have like an email template here that is going to be sent to the email addresses of the reference, telling them if a candidate has applied for a position in our organization and has dropped your name or your email address as a reference. But if this email address or email template rather does not suit your the information you want to pass across to the reference, you can update it. So you can see that I can make changes. I can change the thanks to thank you as much as or as much details information you want to add to the template. You can update it and hit next, which takes you to the fourth step, which is the scorecard. So this scorecard helps you to grade your candidate during the interview process. It comes in really handy. You choose the criteria to which you want to grade your candidate. So I'm turning this on and I want to grade my candidates. I can add a category based on the experience level. Experience level. I'm just going to name this test as well. You can add more as well, or you can add a new category as the case may be, but I'm just okay with one category and you can hit next, which takes us to the fifth level or fifth step of creating a job list. At this point, you can take a cup of water like I am doing because you have two steps away from completion, and this fifth step, which is the collaborator step, is a step whereby you can invite your team members to be part of the interview process. So during the onboarding process for an employer, there was a tab that gives you the benefit of inviting other team members to your company on Lobby. So this is where their email addresses or their invitation comes in handy. You can input their email addresses here to make them part of the interview process, probably to make them also an admin or someone that will scrutinize the candidates during the interview process. Whatever role you want them to play, you can indicate it here, their name, their last name, input the email address, and you can add them. Here I already inputted, I already gave a candidate, no, I already gave a collaborator, I already invited a team member to my organization at the beginning of sign up. So Lobby just picks the name if I want. If I do not want, I can go ahead to delete it, but I'm actually okay with this. And then I can click the next button, which is on the last step of creating a job list, the interview step. So here you give more insight about the information, the interview format, the stage at which the interview is going to be. Maybe it's a three-step or a three-stage interview, beginning with a phone interview. You can as well add another one. Maybe it's going to be a three-step interview. You can just keep updating it as the case may be. Then you'd also show the duration of the hiring process. If it's going to be a 1 month interview process, if it's going to be a 3 weeks interview process, you can do that here. You can also go ahead to upload prep materials for the candidates. I think I have a prep material here that comes in handy for the candidates. Yes, I have the prep material here that I can update, that I can upload rather. Oh, I didn't eventually upload it, so I'm just going to leave it empty and then I can create a job. Once I hit submit, like I always say, Lobby does the magic. Lobby helps you to streamline your candidate from skills to experience, and Lobby puts your company at the forefront whereby it is opened to tons of candidates that are fit for that position. So see you next time. We'll be talking about another feature on the platform. Bye for now.